Yo, yo, yo. It's MIA Radio.
We're back for another one.
Episode 105.
105. 105.
105. We got a special guest in the building.
Rockwell alumni.
We got a living legend. A legend in the making, I'm going to say right now.
Legend in the process.
Let's
word it better.
We got...
He's already a legend to me, so...
Respect the process.
Damn.
I call him the wizard. I like to call him the wizard.
Yo, I call him the takes a lot of pictures and makes it like a video guy.
I call them gigabytes, large files, video files, overblown computers. That's what I think of when I see this man.
We have the one and only Dad Filmed It in
Filmed it in the building. Hey.
What's up, guys?
Let's give it up,
like
bro.
that. What's up? Let me get some dabs. They can't hear it, but pow, pow.
Yo, I gotta say before we start that we've worked with a lot of what do you call them? I guess videographers.
A lot.
Videographers.
Content creators.
Yeah.
Editors. And I think it's safe to say that Dad is
top tier,
the best. I know there's probably gonna be some that are butthurt about that statement.
I'm not saying the best. I'm just saying top tier.
Top
tier.
I have
personal friends.
Yeah, I don't think I'm the best. I don't think there is any best in this. There's a lot of talent out here, and I'm happy to be one of them or being seen as one of them.
I like that. Humble.
So
I missed you guys, man. It's been a fucking minute, man.
I'm just excited to talk to you.
It's been like a year plus. When's the last time we saw you at H-Gap when we filmed
Ka5 Zea? I think probably.
The jumping video? When we filmed the jumping video?
We've done a lot of work, man. Because I revisited the old Rockwell Dropbox file folder, and I was like, man, we did a lot of fucking work, man.
A lot
in a short amount of time.
Yeah, for the time that it was, we
less than a year.
And
like,
that
we started in. Sorry to interrupt you.
Right.
We started like around October and ended in March. So however many months that is. Yeah. Like 6, 7.
But I mean, it was an awesome 6 months, man. You guys introduced me. I to be honest with you, I wasn't too familiar with the DJ scene. Let's put it that way. It wasn't a subculture that I was really like, a part of, but having been brought, the opportunity to have worked with you and with Rockwell and that, man, it was great for me. Like, I really love the DJ community now. I try to follow up with everything that's going on. I have a whole newfound respect for, what DJs were doing and are now doing. And big ups to you guys for adapting and evolving during this fucking COVID thing, because I know that couldn't have been easy. And that's the only thing that really hurt me is that once this whole COVID shit happened and we all had to, figure out what we were going to do and move forward, obviously it was just like, I was bummed out, but I was more worried about like, man, I hope my boys, are going to be able to get through this and adapt and move forward in the way that I want them to prosper.
Appreciate that, bro.
So I'm happy you guys have done this.
And I think that's what made it like unique, that you were kind of like you were a filmmaker, editor, director, but you weren't in our world. So you brought that like outside, new, refreshing look of what we were trying to do.
And I think that's an issue, a big issue that I feel like a lot of us have, or it happens a lot in the industry, and like. We meet young up and coming photographers, videographers, and they all come from either like a music background or like a night. It's like the guy that used to take pictures in the club now is doing videos. So like he has no knowledge. They might know the music, they might know the scene, but they don't. Their video stuff is kind of new. But with you, it was different. Like you were like a very knowledgeable person that had your own style, your own ideas, and like when we would sit down in a creative process, you contributed in a creative way, and it made everything work.
And that's why I didn't want to say you're the best, but I meant for us, you were the best because you brought that out of us. Like it was like exciting to be like, yo, what are we gonna do? And we were bouncing ideas. It's not
this little 19-year-old that's like,
this
28-year-old that's just like.
Well, I have to say that once I even started working with Rockwell, I was probably still am, really. Was underprepared, especially like, and I felt like maybe I didn't deserve the position of.
You don't have to raise your voice, bro. You're not raising your voice.
I like it. Projecting. Go ahead.
Cuban in me. Sorry,
you're good. No, you're fine. You're fine, dog.
So actually, what you're saying about that vibe, that when we would get together and we would create, and you guys kind of felt that energy and it would kind of excite you. It was because I was excited too, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean? But I was like, Zea would be like, yeah, but maybe we could, have me flying through something. And I was like, well,
I don't know how to do that.
Research how to green screen, in the editing room. And I'll figure out how to make a space or where to find some space footage that would be, royalty free and I could use and put them behind. And So I was kind of like learning with you guys, but I was also obviously trying to overcompensate to be able to deliver and over deliver on what, you know, you guys as a group expected of me, you know what I mean? And were hoping to see in me. And that's how I approach music videos too. Like I don't come from a music video background. I just ended up doing it. I don't come from a short film background. I'm just now trying to dive into that world. I don't come from a restaurant content creation background. It was just something that I was thrusted into, and I decided, well, let me start Googling and researching how to do that and how to execute it with the tools that I have. And, you know, so I'm glad that you guys respect the fresh approach, because it really is a fresh approach. I'm just learning as I go. And
and it's rare, especially in Miami, where it's like if you tell someone, yo, I'm thinking about this, they're like, oof, nah, bro, I don't do that. Or like, nah, man, that's too complicated.
Yeah, it's normally like the conversations that we've had with a lot of these quote unquote creators. It's like, it's kind of a dead end, and we don't like to work with people that like don't add to it. You know, like when we talk and we brainstorm, it's like it's always like, oh, this and this and that, and like with you, it was you were part of the team. You know, it was always like the conversation would keep going and it would get better, and your input would help everybody else out. So.
Yeah, man, I like to create for sure.
So how did you get into creating? How'd you get behind the camera? Because I mean, coming from our side, most people, they want to be in front center. They want to be the DJ. They want to be the rapper. They want to be.
Well, I did want to do all that. Okay. I was a musician. Well, you know, want to be musician, but I play instruments, stuff like that, and I was always kind of half foot in trying to become a musician and be that front and center guy. And I would play shows and, you know, do that whole thing. But I ended up realizing that I was having more fun fucking filming. You know, I was writing songs to literally just have a reason to film.
And what
I saw those videos at Las Rosas of you rocking out, bro.
Yeah, man.
What'd you play?
I was a singer and guitarist.
What kind of music?
It was kind of like hard alternative.
Yeah. It was dope.
Imagine. As that race
it's on his Instagram, bro. Look it up.
I gotta go all the way back to
no, it's all good.
It's not that far back.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, it was fun, but I, you know, and it's also music was, you know, a very saturated industry, and I didn't feel like I could perform musically or have the talents to be, you know, in a conversation with the best, or, you know, ever get to that level to be the best at that. And when I started filming these videos for myself, for my music, I started realizing that that's what I was like starting to get really good at. And I realized that, man, I'm enjoying editing more than I am trying to figure out how to mix and master this song. And that, you know, and in that process, I had my daughter, and I was like, well, I can't be a guy that's rapping. I'm gonna be 30 soon. You know what I mean? Just rapping and like, oh, you know, follow my hard alternative band and my rap career. You know, I wasn't gonna be that guy.
Wait, so it was hard alternative, like my shit then. Like the shirt that I'm wearing, you know, this is a stained shirt.
Kind of like that. Yeah.
So it was like,
well, I mean, that's more like you metal.
I know, but it's like,
it was like that type of rock. Yeah, where I screamed and I sang and like, you know.
Did you hate your girlfriend? Hate your parents?
Nah, nothing like that. It was actually really positive. So I wrote songs about like, you know, about having a kid once. I was more about like time. I'm really into philosophy and history. So I would actually just like write songs about stories and stuff that I find interesting and try to put it in a first person perspective with the characters I was writing about. But yeah, who gives a shit? But
fucking lit, dog.
Who gives a shit?
Yo, you just broke it all down, dog.
But that, I mean, you sound like you were pretty invested.
I know,
in this
bro.
career.
You just gave us
It wasn't like
you just gave us your own. You just read your Wikipedia to us, pretty much.
Is that something you'd want to go back to later on down the line?
No.
No way. Really?
Not even writing something?
What if
writing? Yeah.
What if we do like an Incubus where I'm the DJ and you're like?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I like to jam. I think it's therapeutic. I've been playing guitar since I was. My dad bought me my first acoustic when I was 11, and I've been playing since then every single day, obsessively. And I just kind of regret that I spent so much time learning guitar and learning music theory and not learning film the way I could have, because I felt like all that time invested in that would have really propelled me a lot further than I am now. But, you know, I've only been doing this for 2 years. I've only been this DADFILMEDIT brand company, dude, for 2 years.
2018, right?
2018 then,
late 2018.
So coming up on 3 years.
But I mean, that takes a lot of like
end of 2018, because I got my first December.
You're right. Yeah, 2 years. Yeah,
that takes a lot of self-awareness to be like, yo, you know what, this music shit not for me. Let me focus on.
Yeah, well, I don't, man. You know, I'm trying to have an ego death, man. You know, that's been a pursuit of mine for a long time because I lived the opposite of that type of mentality, and I was kind of very like ego, you know, just into myself, real cocky and stuff like that. And when I look back at that version of myself, it's something I cringe. So
I think we all had that. Yeah, that version
I had
of
a
ourselves.
time. I had an era where I was, you know, partying a lot and doing a lot, and I was just a different person. And I look back on it now, and it's not anything I'm proud of. And so I'm just trying to move forward.
I mean, what type? You're talking about like our career?
No, man. So when it came to the music thing, I thought about it. I was like looking at my girl, and she's kind of looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be 30, and I'm not gonna say, you know, check out my SoundCloud anymore. You know what I mean? It just didn't make sense to me, and I didn't see the growth in that. So I had to like, you have to fucking be hard on yourself, and
that's crazy.
You sit with it for a week or so, but eventually you come to that realization, like, dude, you're not that person. You're not. Now, how do you move forward? How do you adapt?
This is weird, but so did you stop believing in yourself, or you never believed in yourself, or you were just realistic?
Realistic.
Yeah.
It's not about believe. I believe in myself. Like, I know, like, if you gave me a guitar right now, you know, I could make somebody go, damn, that was pretty cool, dude. You know what I mean? I know that for a fact.
Bust out the guitar. This is right there.
Yeah, that shit's fucked up.
No, it's fucked up. I'm kidding.
I would have.
Well, fuck it. Play the keys then.
Yeah, but, you know, so, like,
fuck it. Play the turntable.
You just gotta, you gotta be hard on yourself, man. And I am hard on myself. You know what I mean? I'm really hard on myself in every aspect.
That's a good thing.
No, exactly.
I go home sometimes every day, and I you know, after, you know, I'll be driving, and I'll literally be thinking, like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have reacted that way to that person. You know, I start overanalyzing my whole day.
I'm still thinking about like a podcast from like 2 years ago. Like, why did I say that? Well, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, man, you have to be, and you have to hold yourself accountable to things. You know what I mean? And if you don't, then you're not growing, man. And let me tell you, you know, I realized that, like, when I started this, I was living in a tiny bedroom, prestado, you know, from my abuela's house because, you know, I had gone through separation momentarily, and I didn't have anything. And then I was kind of just like, what am I doing, dude? So then I realized I saved up a little money, and I bought a little tiny camera called the DJI Osmo Pocket, which is what Paulie met me on. And when I met you, that's what I was using. And you connect it to your phone, and it's really embarrassing if you want to call yourself a videographer, because you're like, no, check out. It did, man, because I knew I had studied for months. Once I got to my grandmother's house, I just really began YouTubing and going deep into the editing softwares, because I knew anybody can film anything. It's all about how you present it. You know what I mean? And I've always been like a cinephile. I've always been into movies and shit like that. So I kind of had an idea of how I wanted to approach it, but I just needed to learn the tools to be able to do that. And I started using my daughter as that one thing. And I realized, hey, you know what? My daughter grows up, I can't look back. I only have a couple VHSs that my grandmother has, but when my daughter grows up, she can have her entire childhood documented like a Hollywood film. Now, how the fuck do I learn how to edit like a Hollywood film editor? You know what I mean? And like, how do I shoot, and how do you accomplish it? So I started YouTube and researching. So by the time I was able to get that little camera, I was already kind of decent at this editing software. I wasn't like not familiar with it. I wasn't just starting out. I had done the research beforehand. I'm obsessive about anything I do. So even now, when I go to the bathroom to use the restroom, I'm on my phone watching a YouTube tutorial about some new process or some new software or some new thing that I want to learn as far as framing, cinematography, editing, sound design, because I do all those things, you know? And so my whole thing is just constantly learning, constantly building, and that's what helped me get to where I am now, because I just started doing that, and people started noticing, yo, these videos that this dude's doing on Instagram of his daughter, that's really cool. What if he did that for my music? You know what I mean? And I started getting offers, and then from there things kind of, you know, just happened. And a big shout out to Kendall Supply, was one of the first people, one of the first organizations to really look at me and be like, damn, this kid kind of has something. Let me invite him out and let me see what he can do.
Yeah, big shout out. He introduced me to you.
Big shout out to Kendall Supply.
Kendall Supply introduced me to you. And, yeah. And big shout out Tacos and Tattoos.
For TNT real. As well.
Yo, TNT. Fam right here, you see the Cub. Yeah. Always
collab right there.
Collab, Kendall Supply, and Tacos and Tattoo. Shout out to the fam.
Dad filmed it.
So you just got a camera and you knew right away, I'm going to use this little pen camera, but I know what I'm going to do with it and where eventually.
What were you doing before? Like,
I'm working a 9 to 5.
No. I'm saying video wise. Like, would you like, I don't know, if somebody was doing something, would be like, oh, I want to capture this. Like,
no, I had a camera like that. I've always loved photography and video, stuff like that, and I had a camera before, but so I had always dabbled. I had even filmed a couple weddings. You know what I mean? It's not like to say that I was ever green. Like, I've been dabbling with cameras and little BS edits on free softwares for years. I had been doing that. Okay. So I wasn't going in completely blind, but when I started to decide to take it seriously, and I was like, you know what? I don't have that camera anymore, you know, and it's not doing enough. You know, it wouldn't have done enough what I'm trying to accomplish now. Let me get something that's able to shoot 4K. So I bought that little pen thing for, you know, $500 or whatever it was. And then I started going from there. So, you know what I mean? I had already an idea, but what I was doing before that and preparing was in the research of these softwares like Adobe Premiere, which is what I use, After Effects. I had just been researching it. And like on my off time at work board or, you know, while my daughter's playing in the living room and she's safe. So I'm looking at my phone and I'm watching these tutorials. I'm doing this research, you know, because I knew that I felt like I could execute on a higher level than, you know what I mean? That I don't know how to explain it, man, without sounding cheesy or whatever. It just felt like I was fucking like, it felt like something was supposed to happen and it felt like something was clicking.
It goes back to kind of what you were saying. Like you had that belief, but it's like there's a difference between belief and like being unrealistic. Yeah. But you're always gonna have belief in yourself, but it's like what are you gonna channel that belief to?
You're motivated and you're inspired. I think that's the most important thing, because like a lot of people see a challenge as a challenge. To you, it seemed like it's more of a motivating thing. And it's like, you know, you have the drive and you have the instinct, because when somebody wants to do something, if they believe in themselves and they're like where you're at, instead of like, damn, I suck, or like, damn, I could have, or like you're constantly like,
I'm always learning and I'm always building, and you know what I mean? And that's the only thing you can do in whatever it is, because everything is a craft, everything is an art form. This right here, conversation, is an art form that I'm not really that good at. I overtalk. I don't have good projection.
Bro. We're going to start your podcast.
The more you talk, the less I talk. So you're fine.
But yeah,
it's
man.
because you're passionate, bro.
I am. I'm extremely passionate, but I don't know, maybe I have like some daddy issues or something where I feel like I gotta I gotta prove something, you know what I mean? You know, and that's just how I feel, man. So I do, and I appreciate you guys.
You can stop flexing.
You
can stop
I'm
flexing,
nervous.
bro.
I don't know what to say. You know?
Why are you flexing?
That's just a real dude, bro.
You're flexing
that.
too hard.
I appreciate the real.
In all sense of the word. So let's talk. You know, let's take it back. Once you started filming, was there like any inspirations that you had? Was there any like, I like this guy, or like what this guy's doing, and then you know we can talk about. How do you call it? Shutter.
I don't know. Nah. He has a patent pending, bro.
It's not allowed. I don't know.
No. My
your
stop
unique
motion.
style.
Well, I mean,
it's not really
the term. What he was telling us, what it wasn't what the name is. It was just a term for like a new style, which was interpolation, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no. That's the process. I interpolate images.
Yeah.
So interpolation is the process is part of the process of what I do to get a specific what people call the DADFILMEDIT look or whatever, dude. That's on the internet. Now, those aren't my words. You know what I mean?
That's when you know you're doing something right.
So so that look. So and it's a form of stop motion. It's nothing absolutely crazy, but I realized early on that it was a niche. And I obviously dove right into it and used that as an avenue to help get seen, because I knew it was different. It was that process right there visually was something real different than what other people were doing at the time when I had started doing it down here in Miami. You know what I mean? And it was actually something that I came across by accident, and screw it, I'll give away some free sauce. The camera that I bought was only capable of shooting 4K footage. When I started making some more money off of this, I bought a new camera, and that was only capable of shooting 4K footage. And I thought about it, but the camera's photo capabilities shot 6K. So I realized I could get 6K footage if I just take thousands of photos and edit them all together, and then I can have a contrast between the 6K and 4K, and that right there kind of gives me an advantage in the local videographer market, because number one, it's unique, and number two, you know, it's just different. I don't know.
It's the details.
Can I say that your color grading is like next level shit?
Yeah. That's another thing.
Like, it's insane, because I have the hard drive, so I see the raw and then the CG sequences, and I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy.
Yeah.
That shit would give me anxiety, because I'm like, he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this interpolation thing. I'm like, bro, but it's like 100 pictures for me swinging my arm, bro. Like I felt bad for you. I was like, I could just see you like in your room, in the dungeon, like.
And it was, and let me tell you, man, I didn't, now I finally have my own office and it's all vibed out. But before, bro, like it was like a little dungeon, like on my little kid's bed with one of those trays, plastic trays, and I had my laptop on there. But and I would spend hours, man, hours. But I knew that would just make the difference, and it did. It started, I was having conversations with you guys. I was like, getting introduced to musicians. I was getting, I was starting to see movement in this hobby of mine, and I knew that the time that I put into it would make the difference, and it has, man. And there is no shortcut for it. You know what I mean? I'll edit 10,000 photos in one sitting. You know what I mean? And there's a downside because sometimes I don't get to see my daughter, but there's a good side where, look at me, I'm on a fucking podcast with you guys.
Bro.
Look at me.
There's a video you made for me, and I started noticing like your growth when I saw that video, because I'm like, damn, I remember the first video he made, which was I think one of my pop-ups, and then this one, it had like the special effects were crazy. It was like a picture with a hand would come out from the middle, and then the whole video would turn into the picture that the hand came from. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Those.
You would like you would crop little pieces of pictures and put them together, and I was just like, yo, this dude's an animal, bro.
I could see him going down the rabbit hole of like, oh, what if we just do this and this?
Every time we worked, he's like, I don't know if I can do it, but I'll YouTube and we'll find out right now. And like, we always made it happen.
Yo, I remember hearing that shit. Like, I don't know if I can do this, but we can YouTube it. And then like 2 hours later, you sent us like the fucking full edited, like revised version. We're like, yo, this is fucking fire.
And that's why at the time I remember, I mean, like you were saying, like you're a dad and you have a 9 to 5 and this and that. And I was always like, bro, I feel bad, but this guy's a savage. Like I love working with this guy, but I was always like, yo, he must not sleep. Like how does he? How does he do it?
Like the turnaround was insane for like the work that you're doing, how you were doing it. Like you were just like, yo,
how do you do it? Like,
well, no,
much work.
You can't.
Well, no, because I remember I said I started this in like my like a tiny room in my abuela's house, and I told my grandmother, I'm not gonna sleep for a year, mommy. I remember she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I'm not gonna sleep for a year. I'm gonna like really go hard at this, and I'm gonna like. I hated the idea of learning After Effects, the program. Like I hated like the idea of like really, but I knew I had to make that sacrifice and really get into it if I wanted to do something. And like I said, I just became obsessive, and I felt like I had something to prove, and it push me, and I don't sleep, you know what I mean? And when I do, that's great, that's cool, I enjoy it, you know what I mean? I love sleeping, and when I get to spend time with my daughter, that's the fucking best. But the reality is most of the time I'm in my office because I'm trying to flip shit, and when I say flip shit, I'm just talking about flipping videos, flipping content, and doing it at the highest standard I possibly can. And then that's just doing, and then that doesn't go and take time from learning, you know what I mean? And then I am working a full-time job, and it's just crazy, man. But you know what I mean? Like I said, hard work's gonna pay off. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm not gonna sleep for another 2 years. I'm gonna see where I'm at in 2 years, and if that doesn't work out, then you know what? I'm just gonna stay in my regular 9 to 5. Who knows? I might quit that 9 to 5, go work as a FedEx, UPS, or something. You know what I mean? And just live a real normal life and just go down that road. But I'm not gonna stop until 2 years, you know what I mean? 2 more years. I'm going to give it a good 4 or 5 years of my life. I'm going to pass that 10,000 hour rule, and I'm going to see where the fuck it takes me. And if it's, if I like where I'm at, if I see that, damn, you know what? I already left my 9 to 5 because I'm working a full-time job, creating art, and I'm doing it off of this art, then you know what? Then I accomplished my mission. And if I don't get there, then that's okay, because then this will just be another chapter in my life, like being a 15-year-old kid in an emo band, singing about bullshit heartbreak in high school. It's just another chapter. And then, I'm just trying to reach the next plateau in my craft or in my life, whatever the fuck comes first.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap. We're done. We don't have anything else to add. We don't have anything else to talk about.
No, but I think that's dope that you said it, because I think it's important, especially now with this like pandemic. A lot of people are being forced to be like so a matter of fact about things and like realistic, and you're just out here like, yo, I'm gonna do this, and if it doesn't work, all right, I'm gonna be a UPS.
I'm gonna be realistic, yeah. Like I'm gonna be realistic about
it. It's the right mindset. I mean, you have the mindset, and it's the drive, and like
I'm hungry.
And it's that kind of attitude. I mean, and I say this just for the listeners, because like when you think that way, it really does change what you do and like your outcome.
It does, and I spent 30 years of my life not thinking that way, and then the last 3 years that I have, I've seen more growth now than I have in my entire life, and I've been through the military. I didn't have the greatest, I've been through stuff, and I gotta say, man, it was all just a bad way of thinking when things weren't good in my life, and once I changed my mindset, I really did see change happen. I get goosebumps talking about it because it's fucking real. It's true, man. It is a mindset. Life is your perception. Life is about, moving. I don't know. I'm not gonna speak anymore because I'm gonna sound like an idiot.
No, bro. What was that mental switch that you're talking about? That like you were living a certain way,
and then you also said
being a nightlife, or what would you say? You were living a life that was not the best.
Not the best, man. No. Because I wasn't hungry. I was spending all my money. I was bartending for a long time, and I would work a shift, and then as soon as getting off of work, the $200 I made, I would go spend it at the bar because I wanted to get served on. I was like, screw these people. I'm serving people all night. I want to get served on, and then I would spend the $200, and then I wouldn't have money, or I wouldn't and I was never going towards anything. I always was just never driven towards anything. I was trying to find my purpose. I thought maybe it was music. It wasn't. You know what I mean? Maybe I thought it could have been, this one career path I took, but that didn't feel right. You know what I mean? It's like, so I've always just kind of been like, how the hell, I don't know. I was always in the wrong mindset. And then one day when I was by myself and I realized I'm about to be 30 years old, I don't have crap. I'm here in my grandmother's house in a room. My daughter's in another house. Like, what the hell are you doing with your life, David? And then I just said, it's been choices that I've been making, or it's a mindset. So let me try something different. And I got to say, it was extremely uncomfortable changing that previous mindset. It was hard. It was like a 2-week process, but it happened because of just repetition. And I was like, this is not going to be my end story. This tiny room is not where my legacy ends. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that.
The more uncomfortable it is, the better it will be for you in the end.
Yeah, and I've been uncomfortable. I haven't slept in 2 years, but I'm still hungry, still motivated, and I'm still going hard.
You said 2 weeks, but it takes people a lifetime sometimes.
Yeah, and it all depends, and it's not funny. Well, it's good that you said that.
It's funny too. Life is funny, bro. Life is fucking crazy.
You said that it hit you in your 30s. Like, I mean, it hit me later on. I was further down the line, and I was doing different things, and one event trickled another, and then it just kind of changed everything. But it happened. That's what matters, and you start thinking different, and you get off the autopilot, and you get off the basicness of just expecting things from others, and you take the world in your own hands or whatever.
Can I say something? When I first met Paulie, it was at where was it? Tripping Animals. Mm-hmm. Tripping Animals Brewery. I was doing a video with Kendall Supply. He wanted me to meet you, and he was like, "Bro, Paulie." When you meet Paulie and you don't know him, he's got kind of like this real stern face. He was kind of like no emotion. Like, I even remember how he said hi to me. He was just kind of like, he like, it wasn't even a hi. I was like,
I was talking,
and then I was like, oh, this guy's a tough cookie. But you know what you do with tough cookies, right? You dip it in milk, baby. You dip it in milk.
Hey,
I'm not tough at all.
Hey, it's funny that you mentioned this because I was talking about the Paulie and like the different Paulie things that he does. So like, Paulie will do this to you. I gotta stand up for this one. Like, if it's like a group of people and like people are talking, Paulie would be like this.
I've seen that.
And then like he'll do this, like, and then when he does this, it's the fucking dab. He'll do it. I'm making that shit up, bro. When he says something, when he says something, he does that like back.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Shit, bro.
You need that check in your life, bro.
So
that quiet check.
When he does that, it's like something real. So we'll be chilling and be like,
that subtle check.
It didn't happen like that. Yeah, no, it's EFX. You're full of.
I've gotten that. I got it. Hey, I think I've gotten that like once a meeting. It was a couple.
It's always the.
Oh, we've had our little battles. Yeah. Our little arguments, but that's why we. It wouldn't be real if
we didn't.
That's why we made fire content.
Of course.
I remember we were on.
I was with him a lot, like
every
Trello, every week.
Yeah. The Trello board, bro.
The Trello board, man. Y'all put me on the Trello. I haven't used it since, but Trello's hard.
I still have an alert from.
It was dope. It was dope.
I liked how we set it up. It was real organized, real.
But I bet it was frustrating for you when you saw shit.
And I'm ex-military just like you, so I'm real like I need things stupid proof. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like boom. And Trello made things real stupid proof. I liked it.
Things added up on there, so
yeah.
I was like, shit, I don't want to add any more things on this one, so I made like a other column for him, but it was just more shit for him.
More shit just piling up.
Have you had like trouble getting that, like gauging that? Because I mean, you said you started 2-3 years ago, so in the beginning I'm sure you were like super excited. I mean, you still are, but super excited to work with people. But then kind of having to gauge, because it happens to like every video and DJ and everything, that is like in the beginning you're like, let's go, and then people kind of not take advantage of you, but are like, yo, like work with me and I'll work with you, and then you need to work, but then it's a lot of work, and then you're trying to manage, you know, your other job and this and that.
Yeah, man, like kind of, but at the same time I kind of look at it like I'm blessed in the sense where I am just working a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? This was just a hobby that turned, you know, into a second, you know, way of, you know, another form of income. So I'm not really stressed when I get into those types of situations where like I don't know how to say it. Like, repeat the question. Let me make sure I'm answering this correctly. Let me make sure I don't say the wrong fucking thing here.
I like the fact check.
How do you make sure you don't get taken advantage of as a creator, like in the beginning when you're trying to get work?
Oh, okay,
you know, balancing that work, like I want work, but not overworking.
Nah, man, you're gonna get overworked if you're starting. You know what I mean? You're gonna get overworked. Now, I don't, because like I said, I do have other forms of security financially in my life that luckily the only work that I'm doing is work that I want to be doing when it comes to creating art. So I'm only working with artists that I want to work with. You know what I mean? And if it's a client that could potentially bring in, you know, it's a client that I want, I see that, you know, I'd be financially compensated in a good way, and it would, you know, just be something positive, you know, for what I'm trying to build towards my legacy, then absolutely, man. But if not, then, you know, go fuck yourself. That's how I feel. Like, I'm not stressing about that, man. I'm in a blessed position where right now I get to choose who I work with, who I want to work with. But when you're starting out, yeah, you're going to get taken advantage of. And I think that you should get taken advantage of because it's a learning process. And if you're starting out as a videographer, do free work. Don't always think about the money. It's not about the money. That comes after. Work on like what you're wanting to do, but build with the people and the clients that you want to build with. You know what I mean? I've always loved the creative direction of Tacos and Tattoos. Before I ever worked for them, before I got the opportunity to film something through Kendall Supply with them, I loved the creative direction. I was like, yo, this is awesome. This is like some type of cool bohemian, like when it first got started, it was like in a tiny little hole in the wall. So I was like, this is some cool bohemian, like, you know, like almost downtown artsy place, but it's in Kendall. In Kendall, there's nothing but cafeterias. And like, here we are with this cool, super artsy, art-based restaurant, literally. You know what I mean? And the owner is a local from my neighborhood, you know what I mean? And he's doing it. He's really good. He's making awesome food. And he's, you know, we both call it edible art, you know, what he's doing. So I was always a big fan of them. But so when I got an opportunity to film a Cinco de Mayo at the restaurant just for free, just an opportunity to film something and kind of prove my worth, I went and I did it. And you know what I mean? And 3 years down the line now, you know, I'm working with them, and you know, that's my family, and we're building great things, and we're building legacy on both ends, and we're doing good things for the community. And so that's why I say work with the people you want to work with if you're starting out, but you're going to get taken advantage of. Take an L, learn how to take L's, and use that as knowledge to move forward, because without those types of losses, you're not going to be able to navigate. If everything's spoon-fed to you and this and that, you're not going to be able to navigate, you know, the maliciousness that this industry can have within it. So, but you're going to get worked, bro, and you got to get worked.
Yeah,
and, you know what I mean? Like I said, I haven't slept in 2 years. So if you're starting out in video, you know, get ready to work, motherfucker. Like,
you got to eat shit for a little bit.
You got to eat shit. You got to, you know what I mean? And, yeah, a $50 video just to do that. Do free music videos. Doesn't matter. The whole thing is just to create. And if you're really about it, then it won't matter about any money or how much you're getting taken advantage of, because at the end of the day, you got to do what you wanted to do. And for me, that's create. That's create some type of visual content and make my ideas a tangible form for the masses.
Let's go.
You know?
We're going to make 4 episodes out of this one and sell it like a fucking motivational Tony.
It's coming off that way. Fuck,
Tony
man.
Robbins.
No one's gonna want to listen to this shit.
No, this fire.
This is the best. These are the
Tony
best.
Robbins. This is a Tony Robbins.
This is what we try to
sponsor.
capture on here, bro. We're trying to inspire
We're just
creatives,
letting you.
DJs,
We're just letting you talk, bro.
because we know it's not easy. A lot of people relate to this shit. Like,
Yeah, no, it's not easy, man. But you got to go through it.
I mean, what you're saying relates. You know, we have a lot of DJs, and that's a conversation that comes in our books a lot. There's a lot of DJs that they think that no matter what, when, where, like, they think that they're the highest and either new, old, whatever, you know. But if you're a new DJ in a market, you have to do it. If you're old DJ in a new market, you have to do it. Like, it's part of being a creative and creating value to your brand, you know.
Yeah.
You've like you said, you know, you've done it pretty well. Is it frustrating when you're working with an artist that doesn't match your vision?
Oh yeah. That's always tough. But luckily, I have had bad experiences with that, and
how does that end up? Do you guys just cut it, or does it just come out?
no, you know what? Luckily I can say that I've never had a video of mine like rejected or turned back, because I know a lot of videographers, especially in the music video scene. Sometimes you get an opportunity with a big artist, and your shit just doesn't make the cut, and that big artist will take that L for the $1,000 he paid you or whatever it was, and go somewhere else and just pay it again and something else. And I know a couple people that have taken those types of L's, but luckily that's never happened to me. But as far as at the end of the day, I'm the one editing and finishing it, and I want them to be happy, man. So I try to respect whatever their vision is. You know what I mean? If it's that type of project, but I try not to involve myself in those types of projects. I try to sell myself as like a package. Like, if you're going to work with Dad Filmed It, you know that you already kind of have an idea stylistically of what you're probably going to get. You know what I mean? Like, and not saying that you don't have any input or none of my clients, like, it's a very collaborative process. Like, all my ideas, like I said, it's usually done with somebody else, and we build something together, because I have my strengths and weaknesses, and that's why I like working with other creatives when it comes to that, especially music artists and shit like that. But if we have a different vision, man, at the end of the day, the client should always be right, so I would want to respect it. But I have, you know, I'm still bitter about a couple of those fucking music videos that I've released, and I was totally against the creative direction. I try to voice it in a polite way. I try to voice it in a dick way, and like, I'm still bitter about it.
Do you think?
But at the end of the day, they were happy. They loved it because I ended up doing it the way they wanted.
And do you think that if somebody watches that video and they hit you up, they're like, "Hey, I saw what you did for so and so," and it's like that one that you hate, or you're like, "Are you doing like the Michael Scott?"
No,
like,
man, no. It's more of like a personal thing or whatever. But if someone's hitting me up based off of a video, even if I wasn't like, you know, in agreement with a couple creative points or whatever with it, and maybe it's not my favorite thing to watch personally, somebody's hitting me up, it means it affected them in a certain way. And at the end of the day, that's the director's job, man, is to make and give, you know, affect you in a way. My girl will watch a movie, and then she'll be like, "I hated that movie," and it would have been, and I'll be like, "Why do you hate it, babe? Why do you hate it?" She'll be like, "Oh no, because that character, he was such an asshole." And then that girl, and then I'm like,
that means you liked it.
that means that the director did his job. You're feeling those things,
girl,
you know what I mean?
Is your girl the people that like hates? This keeps like turning around. Does your girl hate certain actors because of the role they played?
Absolutely.
Is she one of those people that like,
yes,
"Oh my god, I fucking cannot stand so and so," and like,
absolutely.
Life,
and
like,
babe, if you're hearing this, you know it, girl. Don't even try to front later. Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%.
Like, I can't stand.
She actually doesn't like some actors because of the.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She's one of those.
That means they're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You believe them so much.
They thought
they're amazing, and it took me a while as a viewer to get that. Like, I was like I was living with a firefighter who was really into films, and we were roommates for a while when I'm in my early 20s, and he was the one that kind of opened my eyes. What's up, Jay? Shout out to movies. And he was like really into like, you know, like cinema, the Criterion Collection, and he would show me these films, and I'd be like, "Dude, I hate this movie." And he was like, "Why do you hate it?" He would ask me the same thing, and then I realized, oh no, I don't hate this movie. I'm just like, I'm literally attached to what a good job the director did or the actors did in portraying whatever it was they're portraying, and it affected me in such a negative way that even afterwards, you know. And I have tons of those films where I've only seen once and I only watch it once, but man, you know, low-key, those are like some of my favorite movies because it does something to you. It makes you feel something, you know. And I hope I can make
you ever seen Battle Royale?
Loved Battle Royale.
You seen it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my god! I've been asking so many people if they've seen his movie, and everybody tells me no.
I mean, it's like 3/4 into it, man. You're like, Jesus, dude, what is this?
It's insane, right?
But then the ending, yeah. But I loved it.
I want to rewatch it.
Battle Royale is a good movie.
Movies. Have you ever worked on one? I think I remember reading you worked with who was it? Giancarlo Lafredo. Was it on Stripper Wars?
No.
Okay.
No.
I was just asking.
No. And I say no like that because that's his baby. And no, I've worked with Giancarlo Fredo and on music video type stuff. But I was actually just a fan of his and Julian Uri's. They kind of like, were at the forefront of the Miami short film
That's
scene.
why I asked, because they did Stripper Wars together.
Yeah, I was always really influenced by younger, even in like my 20s or whatever. I saw stuff they were doing, man, and I was like, because I've always been a fan of artists from our city.
What about sorry, no, keep going.
No, I've always been a fan of artists from the city, so I saw the shit they were doing, and I was just like, damn, it's different. It made me feel kind of like dirty watching some of their shit, and I loved that. You know what I mean? But that's why I've always loved punk rock and hardcore music. I love things that kind of made me feel dirty. I've always been into subcultures.
Locally, is there any directors, any video guy like?
How's the videos the director scene in Miami? Because
it's amazing, man. It's fucking incredible, man. There's so much talent out here.
There's a lot of talent. We don't get enough love about it.
Yeah, no. There's some amazing talent. Shout out Graphics Kid, shout out Derek Did It, shout out AR Visuals, shout out Steve on the Internet, shout out Flower Cop, shout out 12lin.
12lin,
yeah, he's the artist, but he's the director. He directs.
Oh, I didn't know he directed.
Yeah, man, he's real talented, real versatile, dude. Shout out. He's doing great things for the city.
I think he's gonna pop, bro.
I hope so. He deserves it. He's already popped in
bigger,
the city's hearts. You know what I mean?
I mean, even bigger.
In the city he's already popped because he's just doing so many positive things, and for artists and creatively, mad respect to him. I'm trying to do the same thing up in my little barrio called Kendall. You know what I mean? I'm trying to bring art to our little thing, but yeah, there's a lot of fucking talent down here, man. Tons of talent. I'm happy to be one of them. There's enough to eat. There's enough to go around.
Yeah.
I don't look at it like, what I mean? I'm not trying to corner any mark, man. I love working with artists that work with those other directors. Shout out Nick Garcia. He works without multiple directors down here.
Shout out Nick.
And he's always showing love.
Yo, yes. Hey, can you connect me with him? I've been trying to connect with him.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I've been trying to connect with him for a while.
Yeah, I got him on my phone. I'll hit him up.
You're very like
pop-up. Sorry.
You're like a guerrilla filmmaker. I would kind of categorize you.
1,000%.
You just and we were talking about earlier. You're like a troubleshooter. Like you just figure it out. You don't need like a 6-man team. It's just you and a camera.
Well, yeah, man, and that's it. That's the other thing. Kind of like I tell people, you know what I mean? I've been on shoots with Giancarlo Lafredo, let's say, and he has a $30,000 budget. You know what I mean? Full crew, full camera crew, stunt crew, engineers on the set to make shit work, like crazy, like full sets like that. And I kind of think about it, and I'm like, yeah, obviously, they're doing shit on another level, like, you know what I mean? But I've always I've just done it myself. Like I realized, damn, I need to buy a camera because I want to shoot content. I want to make content. So I bought a camera and I shot it. And then I realized, damn, I need to edit this content. So then I started becoming really obsessed with becoming multifaceted in editing. So I focused on special effects. I focused on Photoshop. I incorporate all of Adobe's programs and other softwares into my workflow because I'm just trying to elevate the vision or whatever. Because at the end of the day, I'm just troubleshooting and also trying to overcompensate for maybe not such great shots sometimes or whatever, but I'm learning that too. I've been diving really deep into cinematography recently, and I'm just trying to get better framing, and because I think that's a weakness of mine. Framing.
That's dope though, because you're trying to get good at a little bit of everything, not just.
Yeah. I love it all. Lighting is important.
But do you ever feel that pressure of damn, I should
focus just on one?
No, or be more, I guess, quote unquote, traditional, or I should have a sound guy. I should have, because
no. I now having been on those sets, I realize how important it is to quality. So I won't do an interview now unless I have my sound equipment and enough money to shoot my friend at least $100 for coming and helping me out on doing professional sound.
You got my number, right?
I got you.
I'll pull up.
Yeah. So I like to incorporate now getting more help because the budgets are getting bigger. The opportunities are getting bigger for me. But you have to remember, this is just kind of all happening recently. I feel like there's been a surge of a renaissance in my career and in my
100%.
life, and that's just happening kind of now. But up until then, I didn't have the means. I wasn't getting the budgets. I was shooting $300, $500 music videos. You know what I mean? And like it would take me 2 weeks to edit it, and I didn't give a shit because I don't do it for the money. I was doing it for the art. I was trying to get better at my craft, and my intention is always pure towards the creative process. So. Yeah, so now that I'm getting bigger budgets, 1,000%, I want to have a sound guy. I want to have somebody do cinematography and help me with framing. You know what I mean? And I'll always take care of the editing. You know what I mean? But at least I wouldn't mind having a co-editing consultant or a co-editor with me to help me do the 15 things that I need to do to get this one specific type of style. Because the thing of it is about my style is that there's a lot of process involved to get one specific shot. So for that stop motion shit, you guys, it takes like just a day just to be able to get all those photos edited, colored, and transformed into video form. It takes like a whole day of my and then that's not even editing the video itself of whatever we're editing. That's just to get the asset. That's to get the visual asset to incorporate in my video. Mm-hmm. So
how'd you end up doing them in like 2 hours for us? Because how'd you end up doing them so fast, man?
Because I got home, I gave my daughter a kiss, and then I just dived into it smelling like shit still, and didn't shower, and just was focused on it because I realized if I flip this, they're gonna be like, "Damn, how did he do that?" And look at, you know what I mean? And you're gonna ask that, and I've always been about that. You know, I want to under promise and I want to over deliver.
Every video you ever made for us, I think except besides him, but we would say, "How the fuck did he do that?" Yeah. I think me and Zea watched you make the Monet video like as a joke. Like we just gave it to you, and you're doing it so fast, and we were just looking at each other like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, you made people funny that aren't funny,
and that's the thing. You have that like little comedic timing of people, like you, because like before we would try to do what we did with you, but it just wasn't working because we didn't have the manpower or the time to do it, and you were very skilled at what you were doing. But we would get footage like of stuff we recorded and be like, "Oh, this is a wash. Like this guy's terrible." Like you know, it is what it is.
I think it even got to that point where it was like, how bad of content, not bad of content, but like how little can we give you for you to turn it into something
it was like, oh, we can't use this. Then comes that, and like a fucking thing that we thought was a throwaway becomes like comedy gold of like you use what we had of like, okay, let's lean into like this guy's kind of awkward and like slow.
Well, I'm also like I'm also really big into comedy. You know what I mean? When I'm not pretending to be a motivational speaker, I think I've dabbled in the reads.
Is the comedy world parallel to the videographer world, just like the DJ world?
No. But you know but you know what is parallel to everything, to the DJ world, to the music video world, to the not the music video world, to the music world, to the is fucking content. And if you're any of those things, you need to have content. It's 2021, and the only way that you're gonna get seen nowadays is if you have constant, consistent content. Yeah. So my thing is, if I can learn how to flip good content at the highest industry standard, then someone's going to want to fucking pay me for that, because if they're smart, they know that their brand is going to rely, and their whole company or whatever the fuck it is that you're doing, or your whole artistry or whatever it is that you're doing is going to rely on content, man. So like, that's my thing. Is like, I'm just trying to wake people up to understand that they need content, because there's so much money to be made out here. And that goes for all the content and video creators out there. There's so much money to be made. You just got to sell yourself and get yourself seen and develop a style. And I'm still working on that. And God knows I'm not there yet, but I'm fucking working on it, man. And I know there's a lot of money to be made. There's a renaissance happening. And people need to fucking get on with the content. You know what I mean? Get content made for you, whatever it is, man, every single day.
Well, what would you tell those creators that like they want to do what you're saying, but they feel maybe a little hindered of like, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. Like, you know,
shut the fuck up and Google it or YouTube it. What are you talking about? It's 2021. Like, that's what I do for everything.
Right.
I found out what a hemorrhoid was after Google. You know what I mean? I was like, what is this? Why do I feel this? And then I Googled it. It turned out it was a hemorrhoid. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. I don't need Desitin. I'm just making a funny example.
So you have a show coming up at the Improv.
Nah.
I was like, wait, you do?
No, I'm talking shit, guys. I'm trying to be funny.
No, but I'm saying because, like, you know, my girl makes films and she just started. No, she didn't start it, but she's always acted and she's trying to get into it and take it more serious. But sometimes I see her, she gets frustrated because she's like, oh, I need this, I need that. I don't know how to do this, I don't know that. And then I'm always like, I'm coming from my background of DJing and like, yo, let's just put this shit out. It's funny. Like, fuck it. And I seen you work and I'm like, yo, just all you need is a camera.
That's all you need.
Tell the story and then we'll figure out the rest. Story
and figure it out. Yeah, no. And that's okay that she's doing that because she's doing the right thing. At least she's questioning what it is that, you know what I mean? Like, I need this. She's figuring out those logistics, you know what I mean? And it's going to take a little bit of a push. It's going to change. You know what it takes? What we were saying earlier, the different mindset. And then she's eventually just going to be like, I'm just going to do this. You know what I mean? And it's going to click. And there's going to be something inside her that's going to make her want to go, I don't even need a camera. Give me your phone. Yeah. You know what? Let's put it on a tripod. If on Amazon, we can buy a $20 tripod and we can buy a $5 phone attachment. And now we have a tripod. And it's a moving shot. You know what? Let's just pick up this $20 light tripod with your phone and then walk with it. And that'll be our stabilizer. And
it takes, you know, like, doing it to realize.
That it's not as difficult as it is. It's just, you got to just do it. Shout out Nike.
Yeah, because her first one she did, she thought she needed like a huge team and like we need the makeup and
maybe she does. Maybe because she probably does. But at the end of the day,
but what I'm saying is
if
that
you're gonna rely on that, then it's not gonna happen.
What I'm saying, then you realize, and then the second one is like, yo, let's just do it. Especially now with like, it's forced a lot of people with COVID. Like, yo, we don't have that luxury of like, I can use this person. I got this budget. It's like, nah, like, you want to do it, you gotta do it. And like, people are starting to adapt to like, yo, if I want to make it happen, I gotta make it happen because it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen by itself. Nothing's gonna. You're not gonna. I used to be one of those people that would be like, oh, new song coming out next week. We'll keep an eye for it. And then my next story would have been, and then it would literally just say like me on a computer and be like, oh, I'm working on my next short film. You know what I mean? And it was always like this bullshit facade of like I was busy and I was creating, but at the end of the day, I was spending more fucking time doing all this stupid little shit to make it look like I was doing it when I could have just been doing it.
You were announcing the announcements.
I was announcing the announcements. I was an announcing announcer.
I love DJs that are like 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
But when you get older, you realize that because everyone kind of goes through that of like, yo, I want you to know that I'm doing shit. Like, chill, I'm doing shit. These, you know but no one gives a fuck.
Nobody gives, and that's something that I realized that nobody gave a shit. You know what I mean? Nobody was ever reacting. I wasn't getting any. I wasn't like, and everyone was like, oh, so really you're doing that? Like, nobody gives a shit. Yeah, bro. So that's why if you look at my story now, most of the time I just post history photos. I'm really into history. I love
that shit.
And like, you know, because nobody gives a shit what's going on in my life. Nobody. Yeah. And I'm not cute enough to be I'm not fit enough to be taking photos of myself. And like so you have some history photos.
The fun part is doing what you want to do. Like, this is the fun part. I don't care if one person listens to it or 2,000 people.
Dude, I got like 1,000 something like views or whatever on like this one post, and my next post the next day got like 50 likes or something, and I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not gonna delete it. If y'all didn't like it, then too fucking bad. I spent a couple hours in that night, and if I posted this because I thought it was cool enough, and that's it. And I don't need anybody's approval. And if they don't like that, that's okay, because since there's so much fucking content, and in the times that we're living in, next day I'm gonna have something else, and maybe that'll fucking catch something. The whole thing is I'm throwing my hook out into the pond every day, and maybe something's gonna bite. You know what I mean? That's all I'm doing. I'm fishing for fucking life. I'm fishing for work. I'm fishing for art. I'm fishing for money, and I'm just throwing it out. But the whole thing is that I'm trying. I'm out there every day, and I'm sitting on the little fucking end of the canal stoop or whatever you want to call it, and just fucking, you know, I'm on a little bench and I'm fishing. That's it.
You're at Key Biscayne Bridge.
There you go.
Con el yo-yo. Hacer, mira, con un yo-yo.
Yeah, with a fucking yo-yo. I don't care. You know what? And that's another thing. Oh, we can't fish. I need an alloy aluminum, you know. No, you don't. You need a fucking yo-yo string, and you need to find like a Pepsi can, break off the little tapita on the top, and then that's your hook. And then you know what? You just might grab something, bro. Yeah, and maybe you start grabbing something. You find out a technique because you did it every single day for a month, and then you end up actually catching fish with that shit. And then you start now you have enough money to buy the real thing. And then when you get the real thing, it's fucking okay. It's boom. It's coming in. So that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I like that. That's an analogy for your video career.
It was the same thing with the guitar. My dad, he had this old beat up, look like this fucking thing, right? Like old beat up acoustic guitar. It was super warped. The strings
I got it.
Help me out here.
You're gonna play
The strings, the strings were out to there, and bro, you would have to. I started doing push-ups to be able to press down the strings against the bridge of the neck. You know what I mean? And I was like, Dad, please just buy me a regular guitar. This thing is obviously like, you know. And he was like, no.
Your fingers are bleeding.
And I was like that. But you know what? That's all I had, and I was so determined to fucking learn and prove something to myself or to him or whatever the fuck it was. And I got pretty fucking decent on it. And I was like a year with that acoustic guitar. And I remember I saved up like $150 and I bought a regular guitar. When I got, bro, it wasn't. And I was a beast at it. So that's how I've always approached it. Like, I realized then, I use that metaphor, the analogy, or whatever the fuck it is. Like, back then, I was like, you know what? Let me do the same shit with this video shit. I don't need, like, I would love to have a really good camera so I could get that quality and people can notice me right off the bat. But that's not realistic right now. So let me get this little fucking camera and let me learn how I can make that quality better to get their attention. You know what I mean? And then, sure enough, it fucking works. So now I have a little bit of a better camera. And then when I get an even better camera after that, you know what I mean? I got more capabilities or whatever it is. But, you know, I've been grinding it out.
And the time it takes for you to think of like, oh, I need that camera, or I should get this, or I should wait till I have that. Like, you could already been doing like 3 videos and learning and putting stuff out. Well, I mean,
that's what happened. It was that, you know, I would film these videos and they would sit there on my phone or on my hard drive and I'd be like, what the fuck? I got to get an editor. You know what I mean? I got to get somebody who knows how to edit cool stuff. Like, I really want to do this video with my daughter and I want to put fire behind her. And I know that's stupid, but I know she'll love it when she gets older. So, you know, maybe I got to hire an editor. And then I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm just going to YouTube it, man. And like, and that's what I've been doing. I just probably, you know, just troubleshooting, man. Troubleshooting life. Troubleshooting my art.
Troubleshooter. But you talked about Kendall earlier. I kind of wanted to ask you what the Kendall, because we're far from Kendall.
Yeah.
At least I know Paul. Paul, he's a Kendall native.
From Kendall.
He's repping Kendall.
I lived in Kendall for a few months.
But I always say, like, oh, when someone lives in Kendall, I'm like, oh, I gotta stop at the Rest Plaza to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Even though I go to the UFC gym in Kendall, so I can't even hate.
I go to Kendall. I go to Kendall for 2 reasons.
I want to hear it.
Go ahead.
Checks, to pick up a check.
That's
a good reason. And to get cheeks.
Checks and cheeks,
baby. Checks and cheeks.
New segment. Checks and cheeks.
That's it.
I'm gonna be honest. Ever since I left, I only go for cheeks or a haircut. That's it.
Haircut. Great barbers in Kendall.
By cheeks. I'm
Kendall has the best barbers. So.
But
I know my bad. I know your boy's a barber.
Oh yeah, he's retired though.
He's retired, bro. He's a TikToker, professional TikToker.
He's a TikToker shoe salesman.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of shoe salesmen recently. I'm not really big on the shoe game. I don't know a lot about shoes, but.
He's been OG. He's been OG.
Yeah, he's OG.
OG in the
shoe game.
Shout out, future sponsor.
So what's like the Kendall scene? Like you said, there's like a renaissance.
Right now there's a renaissance in artistic and
because I know nothing besides you.
So it's like business, the skating rink popping.
Small business.
You and EFN, Kendall OGs right there.
Yeah.
So let's talk Kendall.
All right. What
are like I know you're 30, so you're closer to my age.
I'm 33.
Well, I mean, you're even closer to my age.
Yeah.
So you did Don Carter's back in the day, right?
Hell yeah.
But you've always been
always
Kendall?
in
Kendall. I forgot where I heard this. Might have been a podcast, but that Kendall was basically like an offset of like drug dealers back in the day, trying to create their own community, and then
So like where I grew up, by my grandmother's house, the next street over from us, which I didn't live in those big mansions, but there's literally it's a street, division in the avenue, and it was like my houses, which are nice homes. I grew up in nice suburban, you know what I mean? Like I've always been blessed, but right across the street were the real mansions, and that was actually called Cocaine Alley. It was called Cocaine Alley. I mean, I was 4 or 5 years old. I remember my grandmother going, "Eso es Cocaine Alley." You know what I mean? Es el Cocaine Alley. Ahí donde vendían todos los drogas. You know, not that they sold it, but that's where all the drug lords,
Allegedly.
you know, Bob. And they did. They bought lots of property over there, and they built it to try to get away, find something a little more quiet. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know the history.
I forgot where I heard that.
But I know that was called, you know, that street was called.
And then it kind of like trickled over the years to like
suburbia.
Yeah.
And to like a quiet, like, you know, not quiet because there's nothing sweet in Kendall, but you know what I mean?
Sweet over there.
Suburban.
You know what?
It's like a hood suburbia.
It's a hood suburbia. And you know what? People talk shit about that. And let me tell you, seeing those fucking wealth gaps, because in Kendall you can literally go one street and you're in these crazy mansions, crazy big houses in a very affluent looking neighborhood, and then one street over it's like these little town home project things that aren't well kept, and like you don't know, like it. So when you see that gap growing up, I mean that's helped me in my motivation moving forward. Is like, yo, I want to be like those people because they're so close to you and you're friends with them because they go to school with you or whatever it is, and you're like, I want that fucking life. What does that guy's dad do? What does he do? Like, you know, so it's if anything, it gives people a hunger to go out there and get it. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of hungry people in Kendall.
Yep. For sure.
You know, and
you can go down the line. Like, you can even ask Kendall Supply. He every like Thursday he does like a little thing where like he posts up people from Kendall. There are a lot of DJs from Kendall. There are a lot of artists from Kendall. There are a lot of creators from Kendall that are like badass.
Nah,
like,
and that's what I'm saying, because I mean this is MIA radio, so you know we're
and I hope, you know, 10 years from now I'm one of those names. You know, somebody.
No, you are one of those names right now.
You
know that.
You're the face.
You know that, right?
You're one of the faces
You're
of
one
Kendall,
of the dads
bro.
of Kendall, bro.
I am a dad in Kendall. Yeah.
Nah, that's why I was genuinely asking, because I know everyone says Kendall this, Kendall that, but like I don't know who comes out of there, because a lot of people don't even claim.
Now let me ask you this.
I claim.
Now let me ask you this. As far as Kendall goes, what are like your 3 to-go spots in Kendall? Like when you're in Kendall, like
Tacos and Tattoos is number 1, and that's just literally just because they have like a living room space, like, and it's all, you know, it's familiar people, it's all love. Another, are you talking about restaurants?
everything, like anything, maybe like I don't know,
Ka5
like,
Cristal
or
that used to be the spot.
anything, bro.
Flippers.
That used to be the
Is that
spot.
shit still
Don
around?
Carter's was the spot.
Flippers.
Don Carter's.
Flippers as well was dope.
Well, now I'm living that
Kendall,
dad
man.
life, man. So honestly,
So exactly.
in Kendall,
maybe somewhere that you take.
it's
your
more
daughter.
like, you know, town and country, and
It's called the Palms at Town and Country.
yeah,
now.
the Palms of town and country, because my daughter likes to shop. You know, if not
Bonefish Grill.
and this is just talking Kendall. Yeah, you know, I really
Crazy
like
Friday
restaurants
night.
and stuff. So there's a lot of good food in Kendall.
Yeah, they've come
It's
up on a lot of good
insane
food.
amount
lately.
of good food
All right,
in Kendall right now.
tacos is 2 of your other top restaurant food spots.
Damn. Okay, I'm gonna say Hey Mondays. It's
Fire.
phenomenal barbecue spot. I'm only gonna talk small business owners because
Like that.
you know what? I will plug one thing. I'm just because I became new to this, and I feel like a whole new world. Crafty Crab or whatever. Those crab boils.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where did that come from? Heaven?
You didn't know?
What? I didn't know about the crab boils. They
Hold on.
changed my life recently, and I'm spending
Hold
so
on.
much money on crab boils.
Hold on, we're not just gonna skip over that. That was a legit little
A whole new world.
hit that
Well, you
a
forget.
note that you just hit. You got some pipes on you, dude.
Yo, watch that video, bro.
He was just subtle flex, like real quick, like he just sang a perfect harmony.
You just Celine Dion.
The movie. I thought the
bro.
movie popped on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
but yo, crab boils. But anyway, so Tacos Tattoos, Hey Mondays,
Small business.
Hey, you said the burger's fire there, right? Hey, Monday.
Latin House.
Latin House.
Latin House is real good.
To them.
Shout out Latin House, Chef M. I know so many chefs, and I feel like I'm on the spot right now, and I should be saying the restaurants. I'm sorry. No.
Where's Lion House at?
That's on Kendall and 117.
Yeah.
Right next to Barnes and Nobles,
exactly.
where Starlight Diner used to be.
Yeah.
Starlight
Got it.
Diner. They used to have
They-
karaoke.
they
Shout out
moved-
Starlight Diner.
It used to be on
OG.
Sunset.
It's an OG Kendall spot.
So when you were in your dark days, as you would say, where were you going out? Because we're all the same. We're on the same age.
Yeah,
so-
I would go to.
But you're from
Cafe.
Kendall.
Yeah, I would go to Ka5 Zea to go to shows and performance shows. I was, a little punk rock kid growing up. I really dug like my go-to spots back in the day.
Yeah. They had to be in Kendall. I'm just curious.
Oh, Soho. I remember Soho where they would play like 3 different rooms, like like indie, like cool alternative dance music. So I thought that place was hard.
Yeah.
I used to go to I never got into space, was never into the whole raving like that, like, that whole scene.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Never
Good
got
for you.
into it.
You will live longer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was mixed up in other shit. I was just it wasn't for me. But yeah, no, I was actually more into shows and stuff like that. I think in my dark days,
Churchill?
yeah, South Miami. I was a South Miami goon. I
Yeah.
mean, I've been through
Say.
boogies everywhere.
I lived out there for a while
South
too.
Miami
Yeah,
Mayor for a
yeah.
little bit.
I lived
was
down
in
there for
South
a little
Miami
bit,
for
too.
a while. I'd be up in all those streets getting in trouble.
BT's hitting a BT after a tavern when they close?
Nah, I can't say that I've done that.
I
My name is Dad
agree.
filmed it.
Yeah.
What's that place that was like a block after Boogie's? Irish Times.
Irish Times.
That was
What?
the first
Been
21
many a
over
fight I got
spot
into after
DJ.
Irish Times.
That was Zea's. Hey,
That's my
it's
first
been
21
mentioned
plus.
several times.
Irish Times, bro.
Yo, he
I
thought
thought
he
he
was-
on 2 barrels.
Yo, Zea felt like
I
he
know
was.
exactly which barrels you're talking
Yeah,
about.
bro. It's the Jameson barrel.
And imagine that's like a tavern
Yo,
bar.
Pitt's gonna fall, bro.
Pitt, you good?
Bobby.
That was like a mandito.
Yo,
That was like a bar tavern kickback
That was a
shit
spot
vibe,
too, man.
and I was used to club shit, so I was playing like club shit top 40, and they were like, "Fam, what are you doing?"
Bro.
And I was like, "Oh, I gotta deepen my crates."
what else was popping down there? Did you ever go to Martini Bar when I was there?
Oof, in the mall.
In the mall.
I went there once.
Yeah.
I went there once,
Yeah.
right when I
Impressive.
moved, and
Yeah.
it was hood.
Yeah, I didn't even get in.
I did it all, man.
There was
All those
another
places.
club in there.
Yeah, there was
back in
another
the
club.
day.
There's several clubs, man.
I used
Oh,
to
Sunset
support-
Place. Remember the
Yeah, yeah.
Sunset Place days? I remember
yeah.
going like Hot Topic, buying my favorite band's T-shirt, then going
Labs.
and like, you know what I mean,
Labs.
like
Loser
just
labs.
like totally like a loser, man. Yeah, yeah. I love it.
Loser, bro. It's so
But
funny
back
when
then you weren't
I
a
say
loser.
loser and dork. Like,
I was a dork for sure.
I mean,
was,
bro,
for sure. I thought
hello,
it was tough,
I'm
but
still
I
a
was
fucking dork, bro.
Yeah,
but
so am I.
I talk about things like this, like I call things that I did loser and dork things, and people are like, "Why do you call it?" And I'm like, "Well, I did them too. I was a dork too."
I call my my golden doodle a dork because she really is like a dork. She's like, oh, you know, like, oh, you fucking nerd. You know, my girl's like, my daughter, the defender's like, don't call her a dork, Dad.
How old's your dog?
No, my daughter's 5 and my dog is 1.
I'm like, forget your daughter. How old's your dog?
One.
I'm a dog dad now.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm very interested in dogs.
Yeah.
So when are we gonna go to Kendall? Have you been to? You know what? Let me.
Oh,
ask you,
Chef
Kendall.
Adrian's.
Well, that I've been. Have you been to the new one? I've been to the new
Yeah,
one.
yeah. I went to the new one.
And have you been to Spanish Marie?
Yeah, shout out Spanish Marie. They have a really good. My wife is obsessed with the guava beer that they have there.
Yeah?
Yeah. She really loves the Spanish Marie guava beer. So shout out Spanish Marie.
What else is? I'm trying to think of what else is popping in that area.
Lincoln's
right
Beard.
now. Is that over there?
Yeah, Strange Beast,
Strange
man.
Beast.
Falco, shout out Falco. Yeah, man, Strange Beast, Lincoln's Beard.
I wouldn't say Lincoln's Beard's in Kendall. Though.
Yeah, isn't that
That's Bird
Isn't
Road.
that-
It's the bird in like 70.
That's right by
Westchester.
what's his name, right?
Westchester. Yeah.
shit?
Right by Billy's.
Yeah, right next to
That's
Billy's.
not.
All right, so
Kendall,
Strange
Westchester.
Beast.
So what is
All right,
okay? So what is now? Let me ask you. I have gone
in
this-
my head, not
Okay.
since I grew up on borderline
Let's
of
ask.
Kendall and
Yeah,
Westchester.
that changes.
That's the
That
next
changes.
You know what I
question.
mean? To me, Kendall spreads out, farther than it was. But this is only to me.
Where
and
does
it's
Kendall-
not. It's not.
This
what
is
Kendall
actually a Kendall thing
Let's
because
ask.
there
Let's
are people that I know that live like on 8th Street and 137. They don't consider it Kendall, but I do.
Yeah.
Like, you're in
it's-
Kendall.
Yeah. So now I was
Well,
definitely.
thought
because
that
Garrett's by the. I mean, it's called the Kendall Regional. That's where's
That's
he at?
Kendall, but that's also West Miami. Westchester.
But it's
Yeah,
weird because
it's-
also you can go a little bit more north and they don't consider a little bit more
Sweetwater.
south and they don't even consider it.
it just depends on who you are or what you
Yeah.
think. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of
'Cause to
Kendall.
me-
It's all about
My
you.
parents weren't together growing up either way, so like I was kind of like always between Westchester and Kendall or whatever, and so I just I make the two in my head.
I'm just a Miami boy, bro.
Just a Kendall. I'm a Kendall.
Like to me,
I'm a Miami
Kendall.
guy.
So I mean, I grew up in Nicaragua, but I spent a lot of time here. But to me, when I would go see my aunts in Kendall, it was like I had to take the highway.
Oh shit!
You feel
Okay,
me?
yes,
'Cause
it was an adventure.
It was an adventure because
yeah.
I would stay like the Gables in the Grove, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're going to Kendall to your aunts." It was like, man,
Damn, we
Gotta
got
leave Gables. Gotta leave Coral Gables.
but it was like,
Pobrecito.
but listen. So when I got older, I would always think, I'm like, where does Kendall start? Because I hate going to Kendall. I like, to me, it's like, why am I here? Like, what am I getting here that I can't get in the lower streets?
Absolutely, no,
You
no,
know?
and that's a fair observation. That's a fair judgment. I get why some people aren't into Kendall,
that's-
and I get why some people, you know what I mean, like Kendall. I see it from both sides here.
I mean, so to me, Kendall starts, and you guys are gonna think I'm insane.
But to me, Kendall's an underdog, and I always fuck with the underdog.
Oh no,
Yeah.
You know what I
nothing
mean?
wrong.
As far as barrios around here, Kendall's a major underdog, and I'm from it, so I'm gonna claim it. I'm gonna rep it, and I feel like I'm just like
Okay.
I don't live
but
there
I
anymore,
do-
but I rep it. Like
Yeah.
I rep Kendall all day, every day.
yeah. So you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Nothing. I mean, nothing
I don't know
wrong.
But I get why a lot of people like living downtown. Why a lot of people like more South Miami
I
area.
live-
Why people Color Bay, Homestead. Like I get why everyone because I'm a Miami kid. all my friends are from all around the place. So
I like to live. I mean, I don't own a car either, and I don't like to drive.
Exactly.
I like to live where I work and like close to my area.
Especially if you don't have a car.
Some people are the opposite. Some people love to live as furthest away from their work. Like,
yeah.
I don't. What would you consider between Flagler and A Street? From because I've had this problem my whole life when people are like, "Where you from?" I'm like Miami, but then they're like, "Where?" And I'm like, West, South, because I grew up Flagler and A Street, and then like 67th and 72nd ish.
So it's like Westchester. Yeah. I always thought it was Westchester.
I never even contemplated it being Westchester.
Yeah.
Really? I thought that was like South Miami, West Miami.
No, yeah.
You think Westchester
maybe West
starts,
Miami. I'm sorry,
West Miami. Yeah.
Westchester starts like Coral Way and like 70. Well, in my head, anyway.
Mall of the Americas.
Exactly.
Mall of the Americas.
Once you get past like 87th, even like to me, it's like already okay.
Well, Mall of Americas, I consider Mall of Americas like almost Doral.
For like
Mall of the Americas. Wow, I remember like
I grew up in that's Doral.
Yeah, my grandma would drive there.
I used to live in front of the fair, and like they considered that Westchester.
Yeah, I can say that.
107 and
to me, but
Coral
okay,
Way.
so that's a threshold. When you go over that bridge, like where are you going into? You know where I'm going? Where the AMC's at?
Yeah.
What is that? Is that Kendall?
I feel like that's Kendall.
That's when you get to Kendall. When you get to McDonald's. When you get to the Pollo Tropical.
122 boys.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them.
Yo, you know what we should do? We need to have.
Shout out another Kendall, a couple legends. Puya Fat Nick.
We actually wanted to bring that up.
We just did that video. It's like at 300K views, 500K, half a mil.
It's not that I've been looking, but it's 375.
Hey, pull it up. Pull it up.
That's like your highest.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big shout out to Puya for giving me the opportunity, and keeping it hometown with me. You know what I mean? The guy gets offers from videographers, I'm sure, all the time, everywhere. You know what I mean? And
how was it working with him?
He's real cool, real down to earth guy. And he surprised me a lot about his knowledge, like towards like filming and like the concepts. Obviously, he's shot a lot of music videos. I'm assuming, I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, obviously, he knows a lot about filming.
What's the name of the song?
You don't know what you're looking for?
It's called 5 6.
It's on the notes.
He reached out to you, or you guys?
No. He obviously he's he's a Miami legend. So I follow him and I'm a big fan of his music. He makes great shit, and so he had put a DM. I've actually worked with him thanks to Giancarlo and Julian Yuri. I worked with him on his music video for LOL Life, and I was just a PA, so I was basically just like
an assistant.
An assistant. Whatever needed to get done was get done. I was shoveling, I was hanging, I was a helping hand. And then I got an opportunity. I had develop my craft a little more, and then so Giancarlo reached out to me, and he gave me an opportunity to shoot a behind the scenes for his music video with Fat Nick that they recently released, and I did the behind the scenes for that. He saw the behind the scenes. I guess he fucked with it. He vibed with it. So one day he posted a song, and he goes, "This still needs a video." So I shot my shot, shoot or shoot, and I said, "Hey, if you ever need some, some crazy shit, low budget or high budget, whatever it is, hit me up sometime. I'd love to work with you." And he goes, "For sure, let's fucking go." And
nice.
It's simple as that.
That's awesome.
And he hit you back, boom.
He hit me back. Yeah, he hit me back on the DM. I was able to get 12 Lin to show up in this video because I figured, you know what I mean?
Some local.
Yeah, and it was just great to see. I feel like, they haven't been able to do any music together, or maybe they have, but, I just felt like, it'd be so cool to see these two people together on screen, two Miami legends. And I had worked and did a behind the scenes for 12 Lin's Loyal video. And so I asked him if he would mind, and he was more than hospitable. He opened up Velvet Velour for us, which is the store where that's filmed at right there. And he was super kind, man. He treated us like family, treated us good, gave us a place to shoot, and
that's awesome. It's dope because
it's kind of like I wanted to make it a node to the city.
Yeah,
and I wanted to break the fourth wall with the green screen.
I like that you did that.
And Puya fucked with that too. He was open to that idea. So.
But it's dope to see, like...
This was all run and gun, too.
Because I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. I can see, like, how far you've come. And, like, now you're doing this super dope music video. But then I'm reading the comments, and they're all, like, saying, yo, this video's crazy. Or, like, yo... And I'm like, yo, I remember when we were doing, like, some... Like, the birth of, like, this idea that you did now. And, like, to see it, like, in a full-blown music video, it's really dope.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
So
Yeah, big shout out, Puya, for giving me that opportunity.
Shout out to you, dude. Shout out to you.
Yeah, big shout out to the one and only Papa.
my daughter calls me that sometimes, just throw me off like as a joke.
I hope she does.
No, because she calls me dad or whatever, but she'll just be like, Papa? I'll be like, what are you doing? She starts crying.
Is your daughter ever like, hey, why does everybody else call you dad?
And when am I gonna start seeing these checks?
Well, she gets like jealous sometimes. She'll be like, that's my dad.
Wow.
But it's cute.
That's so funny, dog.
Is there any like dream artists that you have in your mind that you want to work with?
No, man. I'm not really into like I don't give a fuck if you're famous. If you know what I mean. Like I really wanted to do this video with Puya just because I fucked with him because he's from Miami.
No, not even like a rapper or anything.
Yeah.
Just someone.
No, I want to keep on building with the people I've been working with, man. I want to build with Jay from Tacos and Tattoos and keep on, we have ideas for short films. He's like a constant collaborator of mine, and he's one of my best friends. So, I really want to keep working with him. I want to keep on working with the people I have worked with. So shout out Wednesday. Shout out Laddie Morin from Moran from Pennsylvania. I recently went to Pennsylvania and filmed 5 music videos in 3 days.
What?
Yeah.
Talk about that, bro.
No, it was cool. I got an opportunity from an artist named Worldwide Wednesday. When he was living in Miami, he lived in Miami for a while. He reached out to me to do a music video. We did it. He loved it. So then I guess he later on reached out when he moved back to Pennsylvania, and he flew me out. Him and Laddie Marin flew me out, and they were like, "Look, we got this much money, and we want to do this types of videos, and we got this ideas." And they also flew out the co-director on those videos, Yaselin Perez. I'm sorry, I'm getting brain fart right now. But she's great, and she helped us out, and it was a really cool experience, man. And so I want to keep developing with artists that I've been working with, brands that I've been working with. I want to keep building with you guys. I hope we can definitely work more in the future.
I can't afford you, bro. I'm too broke.
Not if you're living in downtown. I get it for sure.
Hey, I live downtown. I'm living downtown.
That's what I said. Under the bridge. I get it. Don't worry about it.
Man,
oh man.
But
now we got to do something again, bro.
No, we'll definitely. Doesn't
matter. Like, let's just see where time happens, man. Obviously, our creative relationship was based on all this amazing events that you guys were throwing in the city. You guys were taking over the night, the nightlife scene. It was like, it felt great. You know what I mean? To be a part of that. And then fucking COVID happens, a pandemic happens. So what are we gonna do?
Gotta adapt.
So so we'll adapt. And we're doing this right now, and let's see what fucking happens, bro. Let's see what happens, and we're gonna definitely keep on creating. I know you guys are. I know I am. So we might as well do it together.
We cut to that video.
I think that there's so many quotables out of this interview that it's
this is amazing. Be good. But where do you see Dad filmed it in? Where do you see Dad in 3 to 5 years?
Granddad?
5.
Hopefully with some hired help. Hopefully just 100% full time making art, making videos, creative directing, and that's all I can really hope for right now. That's if I can make that happen, if I can be doing this full time, creating art, making videos, being a creative director for brands and businesses, if I could do that and just do this full time and provide for my daughter, then that means that for 4 years of not sleeping or however many years it takes, it wasn't in vain. And it really does prove that it just takes a mindset and determination to accomplish whatever the fuck you want.
I like that. Are you actively thinking of that moment where you quit your 9 to 5 and you storm out and tell your boss?
No, I'm super grateful for my 9 to 5. I just hope I don't get fired in the meantime, because they're so great to me, and they're an amazing organization to work for. And they've flown me around the world. So if any organization that's flown me around the world, man, and taken me to Scotland and provided me opportunities, and provided me the opportunity to be doing what I'm doing now, then I'm forever grateful for. And if I could keep on working there and keep on doing what I'm doing, then great. I just my real love in life is creating, and so I would love to do it full time. And if not, and if I can't do it full time, then I'm a fucking big boy. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's get the work that I need to get done and be able to provide for my family financially, and then I'll get out my creative outlet and make some money while I'm doing that too on the side when I can. And that's how I'm gonna keep on going. That's my mindset for now. Thank you guys for having me.
He's about to walk out.
He just dropped the mic on himself. He just outroed himself.
I was about to ask, like, if you have any inspiring words for creatives and up and coming videographers. But
no, do it.
This whole fucking podcast is a masterclass.
If you're creating and you want to get into videography, start learning the softwares, start researching what it is that you're going to need at the most minimal level, and then fucking do it. And if you own a telephone, then you already have part of that equipment at the most minimal level to accomplish and tell a story and do whatever it is that you want to do visually. And any other excuse besides that is bullshit. Don't be a pussy. Man up, woman up, and create something awesome. Tell a story. Do it out of pure intentions, and never work for clout or fame or for some artist that hey, I got this, and don't work for that. Work for pure intentions. Work towards something that you want to create. I wanted to create for my community, and I wanted to work with artists from my community, and that's so far what I've been doing. So do what the fuck makes you happy, man. Do it with pure intentions, and if you don't, then you're gonna fuck off in a couple of years. No one's gonna remember your name.
Fucking pumped, bro.
All right,
let's go create.
We need you to pick up the mic one more time because you already dropped it. But if you can give people your socials where they can find you, and
you can find me on Instagram at DADFILMEDIT. That's it.
YouTube, you gotta check out the YouTube.
I don't even have enough subscribers on my YouTube to give you an exact address because you need at least a minimum of 100.
Hey,
I think I have like 16 subscribers.
We're on the same boat, bro.
So
so go to
if you just go on YouTube and type Dad Filmed It, I'm sure you're gonna find a music video that I've been attached to, or some type of video that I've been worked on, and that might help out. But my portfolio right now is just Instagram. It's brought me every single client and every single thing I've ever done.
Awesome, bro. Well, we appreciate you stopping by. I'm inspired.
I can breathe now.
I'm feeling good, and I hope a lot of people listen to this episode and get inspired.
All the videos
too.
come up.
Google
Worldwide Wednesday, Friendly Neighborhood. That was the video that I did. Laddie Mooring, Girls Ugly. Those were the videos I did. Some of the videos I did in Pennsylvania. Cool stuff.
Fire.
Great, good artist. Damn, I've done a lot of videos when you start looking at all this shit.
Yeah, bro.
Popping, dog. Chrome Jones.
Chrome Jones, that was my first video. That was my first music video as Dad Filmed It. That was my very first music video as Dad Filmed It.
Right there at the Olympia.
Yeah, no, but I didn't make it the Olympia. I made it Chrome Jones.
Woo! That was fire.
Give
I remember this.
Shout out to the Chrome Jones
We all
burrito.
shared this shit. I remember.
That was all shot on that little DJI Osmo Pocket as well.
Yeah. He also did the Rolling Deep video for EFX.
Yeah. I mean, he did all of Rockwell's shit the last 2 years. If you really want to see.
You're so stupid. My dog. Sorry. Oh, I actually had wet hands. Sorry.
Price went up, dog.
Price went up.
I'm in the presence. I mean,
You're so stupid.
you guys know.
We're going to leave this in.
Rolling deep.
And on that note.
All right, bro.
I like that you threw that in there. You did the Rolling Deep.
Yo, it's MIA Radio.
And we out.
Peace.